Welcome one and all to the pre-port on this fine Friday, a Friday in which we will indeed eventually get around to throwing away of the garbage people. I have a garbage person or people that I've never had before coming up very soon. And yes, we will be talking about Alina Haba. Look at the fancy production value. I made the thumbnail. A shot from the thing, which is very hard to do on the phone when you're doing a live stream, but I figured it out. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Lots to talk about. Mantis Dragon, member for 3 months. That's 3 months all gifted. This community is nothing but rock stars. Bring on that purple. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who is gifting memberships. It is awesome that you're doing that. There have been so many gifted. And you know what? Let's keep it going, you know? Pay it forward. Do a little bit of gifting. Feels nice. Make someone else feel nice. But anyway, hit the like button if you haven't already. I want to jump into some news. First of all, I just want to start with this. Please don't cut the video. It's important. Target is going to be cutting some Pride Month products from stores after backlash. So there will still be Pride Month products available online and at, as Target describes, select stores. And what that means is places that are still civilized. And so, look, I'm sure the right wing's going to be very happy about this. They're going to be super excited about the fact that they were so violently homophobic and transphobic that, hey, they got this company to back off. And now products that they would never buy or be interested in won't be available to people who actually would be interested in them. And Target, which is just trying after all to make money, that's it, won't be able to. So it's bad for the business, it's bad for these other people, but they get to take brief enjoyment out of the fact that others will suffer. Their life won't get any better as a result of it. It doesn't help them in any way, you know? They still have the same shitty job, the same shitty relationships, the same shitty prospects. But other people will be hurt. And so, you know, in the absence of some improvement in my life, that's something at least. And look, I don't like that Target is doing this. I don't like that they're backing off. As Acid Rain points out, yeah, they don't want their employees to literally be assaulted, to be harassed and physically assaulted by insane people who have been weaponized by the right and sent out as little mini sleeper cells to try to take out any company that acknowledges the existence of other people. By the way, there's like talk about what this is. So there are these products designed to appeal to a certain community that the right is boycotting. So in this case, it's Pride Month products. It'll be, you know, like Target does things about like black-owned businesses. That'll be next, definitely. And they're against it because it's woke. And so they're anti-woke. All of that language, do you know what that's designed to do? It's designed to have us not acknowledge what this is. Segregation. That's all this is. Straight products get to be there. Your products don't. No, it's not that they're not going to sell to me. They can't sell to you. You don't get to have products that acknowledge you or that you're interested in. And companies are not allowed to try to do that. It is literal segregation. We need to start using the words. That's what that means. Okay? In society, I get what I want. You don't get what you want. It's not even separate but equal. The products were literally already in a separate spot. That was not good enough for these people. Okay? It's honestly, to say that it's segregation doesn't even go far enough. It's the annihilation. It can't exist. You can't have it. That's what they want. And they want it with businesses. They want it with art, with pop culture, movies and music and video games and all of that. There is a certain class of people, the identity of which can exist and can thrive and can be served. And the rest of you, no, cannot. Honestly, segregation does not go far enough, but at least it's a bare minimum to accurately describe what's going on. Benzo Diaz, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's already here. Thank you to the more than half of you, or almost half of you that have already hit the like button. Thank you very much for that. Brian Simeon, thank you for continuing as a member. Kenzie Page, member for 25 months. This is my 34th birthday. I wish for one day without being misgendered. Thanks for all you do. Have a great day. You know what? Just so that I don't ruin that day for you, I'm not going to say anything about your gender at all. But thank you, regardless of gender, for being here. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to eventually get around to the trial and Alina Haba, because on the show today, we're not actually going to be talking about the trial. Honestly, like, I know that CNN is going to cover it no matter what happens. My view is I'm going to cover it if it's interesting And I've been watching what's going on, and so far I don't find it particularly interesting. So I have no doubt that the videos would do well, but my heart's not in it, so I'm not going to talk about it. There's one thing I want to talk about, and I'm doing it here on the pre-port. I do want to just briefly acknowledge a couple of other things, though. First of all, I know it's going around. I know that people think it's very funny that Donald Trump got his son Barron's age wrong during the same interview where he claims Biden is so out of it that he doesn't know he's alive. I don't... Look... Barron is now 18. And I do think that 18 is one of those ages. Like when you hit 18, when you hit 21, that should stand out. So, look, if you want to say that he should know what Barron's age is, the fact that he's 18, I think, gives you an argument to make. But that said, I think that parents get their kids' ages wrong quite a bit. So I'm not necessarily going to fault him too much on that. Now, if he's making slip-ups like this literally every time, him and right-wing media, every single time they attack Biden for his brain falling apart, they make mistakes. It's like a law of the universe now that it has to happen. And so the hypocrisy bothers me a little bit, but you can forget the age. I don't think that that's that bad. I want to go to this, though. It's a little bit of an update on the fact that the impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden have sort of fallen apart. So you might think, oh, well, that's it. Take a look at the next phase, potentially.
Carlson, on what grounds would you impeach President Biden?
Well, if you look at where we are, Stuart, I mean, President Biden is failing on so many different fronts. But if you look at Israel, you showed those quotes and tweets, what he said when he was a candidate. And he sure was bold then, but he'd probably like to eat some of those words today, because what he's done to Israel, walking away from our strongest ally in the Middle East, is disgraceful. You've got Democrats even admitting that right now. Our main objective is to get Israel the support they need to show that we stand with our ally Israel, even if Joe Biden's walking away because he is now trying to appease the pro-Hamas wing of his party.
Is it a high crime and misdemeanor to walk away from a big ally?
Well, what we want to do is get President Biden to actually go and deliver that aid. I mean, ultimately...
I love that. That is even Stuart Varney is like, this doesn't seem impeachable, buddy. Because it's not. That's fucking crazy. Stuart Varney acknowledged that it wasn't impeachable, even though he bought into the ridiculously vague framing of walking away from an ally. What the fuck are you talking about, walking away from an ally? We literally just sent them billions and billions of dollars. He put a temporary pause on some bombs. That's it. That is the sum total of what he has done to try to influence Israel to pull back from this disastrous war the entire time that's been going on. This one thing. And that's not a thing that Scalise might disagree with Biden on. No. Impeached over it. Come on, man. Come on. I know that we know they have nothing. And I know that they know that we know that they have nothing. But Jesus Christ, do they have nothing. And by the way, so I get that looming over all of this is the fact that the Democrats dared to impeach Donald Trump twice. And remember what they impeached him for. Trying to overthrow the government and doing the quid pro quo with Ukraine. Now I want to be very clear. Did we try to impeach him for everything he did that we didn't like? On the level of, he's walking away from our ally! No. No, did they try to impeach him for building the wall? We didn't like that. Didn't impeach him. Did they try to impeach him for family separation? Banning Muslims from coming into America? Any of that? Totally willingly bungling the response to the pandemic and leading to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Did they try to impeach him for that? No. No, we didn't. I didn't like those things. I argued against those things. I argued that he should be run out of the White House in 2020 because of those things. But we weren't just like looking around every day like, what could we impeach him for? That's literally, I don't know. I have Trump derangement syndrome, and yet we didn't do that. So what the fuck do you call what Steve Scalise is experiencing right there? Is it BDS? Is that what it is? Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it. Wasabi Dragon, always glad to have you out there. It's just madness, is what it is. Okay, let's see. We have only a few minutes, so I should go to the video. Okay, so Alina Haba legal like spokesperson for Donald Trump, not on the hush money legal team, but sort of representing him. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We're gonna dive into this video and I'm gonna give you my thoughts.
You've been there most of the time, right? In court,
Yes.
in this kangaroo court. No one knows what is happening inside.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little color about what it's really like?
So it is actually cold. I agree with the president on that. I didn't know how cold it would be. So, you know, you walk in and it's really actually something surreal. You feel like you're in the Twilight Zone. Today, I walked in and the first person that caught my eye was everybody from Greg Kelly on the right to George Conway on the left, Caitlin Collins sitting there.
I will say, it is admittedly weird that any of those people are there. She's going to talk about the, like, first of all, say this. Listen to this.
And, you know, I appreciate that they all want to act journalistic in those moments. I'm sitting there and I'm looking, but they're snarking, and it's a very strange feeling.
So it's like a show trial.
It is.
For the media.
Right.
Except there's no law that's been broken. They haven't even named the crime.
It's unbelievable. And when anything salacious happens, all you hear is the clicking of, you know, the keyboards. But when actual law and facts are discussed, it's silent.
It's business fraud, actually. You paid off the dude, and then you hid the payments by pretending that they were for legal services. And you logged it as a business expense, a legal expense under your business. It's business fraud. I've laid out what the crime is, actually. What is he talking? Like, I often assert that they won't actually address the crime. He's pretending that we're not saying what the crime is. Everybody knows what the crime is. What the fuck are you talking about? The only argument that the right has is, well, I don't care. I don't care that he committed fraud in this case. And that is an honest defense. They really don't care that he did it. But that's definitely what the crime is alleged to be. And importantly, when you are deciding, Alina Haba, whether it's the Twilight Zone that this is going on, could you at least pretend to not think that it happened? Like, could you pretend to think that this is made up? Because it's a kangaroo court. It's all made up. It's a show trial. Except everyone across the political spectrum seems to understand that all of this actually happened. On Fox News, they're not denying it. They all accept it. They're joking about it. They think it's awesome that he had this affair and he paid her off and he covered it up. But what are you talking about? It's the Twilight Zone. He had sex with her. He paid her to not talk about it. He had Michael Cohen pay her. He reimbursed Michael Cohen, and then he lied about what those payments to Michael Cohen were. They do not actually dispute literally any of that. The only thing they dispute is whether that should be a crime, effectively. And the fact that Greg Kelly's there, I admit, Alina Haba, super weird that Greg Kelly's there. Why the fuck is he there? I don't even really know why Caitlin Collins is there. I don't know. But also, I love that there was a reference to George Conway, and she said the left. What? Neither George Conway nor Caitlin Collins are the left. Look, George Conway doesn't like Trump. He was literally a Republican before. Maybe he's changed a little bit on politics. That doesn't make him the left. Caitlin Collins, not the left. Don't quote me on this, but didn't she used to work for like the Daily Caller or something like that? I'm not very familiar with Caitlin Collins. She's not a communist. I love that, like, anybody who does not bow down to Donald Trump is a leftist now. That's not actually how any of this works. There is a thriving diversity of opinions across centrist Democrats and progressives and leftists of different sorts. But it all gets smushed down when you don't understand any of that and you don't care to learn about it. But yeah, I also love that she had to pretend, no, it's freezing. Him whining about it freezing all the time makes sense because it's actually really, really cold and it's super weird that he's there for doing the thing that he definitely did. Okay. Again, doesn't mean there's going to be any consequences. I just wanted to check in to talk about the way they're trying to do damage control for him. It's not to say that he's actually going to end up getting any trouble. I think that they're laying out a very strong case, but again, it comes down to one thing. One juror could potentially upend the entire thing. Okay, everybody. We got 7 minutes. Brett's going to be here. I hope to see you all there. Hit the like button on the right if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.